Hello, welcome back to our 30-day yoga challenge. Today is going to be our intermediate balance flow. And we're going to start on our backs just to really bring awareness to that balance without being on our feet. So go ahead and lay in a comfortable position. Set that spine fully on the earth. There can be just a small space between your lower spine and the mat. We're going to hug our knees into our chest and just open up the hips. So that can be hip circles going in any direction. And then reversing the pose or reversing the direction. Good, find stillness, set the soles of the feet on the mat, and then go ahead and extend the legs, but let's flex the toes as if we were pressing into our imaginary earth. Then open up the palms, pressing back hands to the mat. Good, roll the shoulders back and down as if you were standing in your mountain pose. So you can close your eyes, really bring awareness to your feet pressing into the earth. And then right now we don't have that imaginary wall behind us. We have it literally behind us. So when we're standing, that wall is going to help support us. So you can feel your back muscles and even your triceps pressing against that wall or into the ground. But when we're standing, you're going to have to activate them without that ground supporting you. Just the ground will support in your feet. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and bend the knees. Just rotate that tailbone forward so you can find space, find your reverse tabletop, press your hands into your imaginary earth. Same thing here, you can feel that back pressing flat. From here, you're going to find your cat-cow. So you're going to inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then exhale around the spine. You can even tuck the chin. Inhale the cow. Exhale the cat. So they're almost like little crunches. Okay, then let's bring our stance to reverse tabletop. So you can feel that nice flat back in the earth. And this practice is also really nice if you maybe just didn't want to be on your hands and feet. You can do almost any pose on your spine just to take weight away from the limbs. Okay. From here, let's find our bird dog. So inhale, reach that right arm back. Left leg extends. Exhale, come back to center. Good. Inhale, left arm reaches back, right leg extends. Keep your other limbs in reverse tabletop. Good. Come back to center. Good. Then we're going to stack the right knee over the left. And then if you can continue twisting or wrapping that right leg around your left, you're going to continue that. So it's almost like you're tucking the top of your foot around the calf. If not, they're just hugging close together. Good, then bring your arms to a T position. So here are our eagle legs. And you're going to squeeze them really tightly together, hug in the core. Now adding our eagle arms. So since our right leg is on top, we're going to bring our left arm to be on top of our right elbow. So bend the elbows and stack them on top of each other. Same thing, if you can continue wrapping the arms, maybe your palms can touch. Squeeze the arms together to find space to keep wrapping them around. Now this is a lot to hold on to even though we're on our back. So kind of almost like a lazy or restorative pose is you're going to drop the left toes to the earth and then your hands to your forehead. That feels like a really intense kind of back bend. If your back kind of pops away from the earth really intensely, then you can just keep the knees lifted. Now, another variation for eagle arms is just to do a self hug, stacking the elbows and palms wrap around the shoulders. Even though we're on our back, I want you to really activate the pose, squeeze to the center midline. Good, and breathe. And then carefully unwind the limbs. Let's find an upward salute. Good, exhale, bring the arms back down. Find your reverse tabletop. Let's find those bird dogs again. Inhale, opposite arm and opposite leg extend. Exhale to center. Inhale, opposite arm, opposite leg. Exhale to center. Beautiful. Arms can come into that T position. Stack the left knee over the right this time, or just the opposite way. See if you can draw the calves together and maybe tuck the top of your foot around your calf so it can kind of hook around that leg. If you need more space, you can almost use your hands to kind of restack the knees and squeeze the legs together. Good. Bend the elbows or bend the arms. Right elbow stacks over the left. Back hands or palms can touch, or your modification, hands on the shoulders. Squeeze the arms and limbs. Find that imaginary earth with your foot. And then inhale to exhale. Find that restorative pose. Set the right foot on the earth. Back hands can fall on your forehead. You're doing the self-hug. You're kind of already resting in that pose. Beautiful. Carefully unwind. And quickly find an upward salute. Exhale, hug the knees in and lift the head and shoulders. Catch hold of the back of your knees. You're almost resting your head on your collarbone. So there's like a fist-sized space between your chin and your chest. And we're going to find our yogi rocks up to our boat pose. So inhale, lift the hips back. Exhale, shift forward. Keep that spine nice and rounded. And land in your boat pose. And boat pose is kind of the perfect example for your balance pose. So I'm kind of on my sit bones right now, or even when you're in a seated position, you're sitting on your sit bones. But when you come into boat, you're kind of shifting onto the more squishy part of your glutes in between your tailbone and sit bones. That's the same thing with on your feet and on your hands, right? It's a little bit more than just your strength of your core or your arms if you're in an arm balance. It's kind of like you're trying to balance something like a can of soda on the corner, where you're kind of just to find that point where everything sits still and you found just that perfect spot to rest and balance. Good. Go ahead and cross at the ankles. Let's shift into our downward facing dog. So remember, if that feels too tight, find your tabletop and then step into downward facing dog. And first pose off of our backs, you can pedal out those heels. And then let's come up to our first standing pose. So walk your feet to your half lift. And walk your hands up to a standing position. Open up the palms. Roll the shoulders back and down. Feel your back pressing against now your imaginary earth. Now your feet have something to stand on and support you. Good. Shift weight to your right foot. Externally rotate the left leg. Lift the heel or the foot. Let's find our tree pose. Decide where you want your tree branches. Good, then we're going to just turn that left knee in, so square the hips, and you're going to step the left toes back into your warrior one pose. Beautiful. From warrior one, go ahead and lift the back heel. Set your palms down to frame your right foot. Step into your plank pose. Finding that balance even on your hands and your toes. Shifting forward. Exhale to lower. Inhale to an upward facing dog. Good. Inhale to exhale. Come back to downward facing dog. Look to the top of your mat. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Step or hop. Find half lift. Good. This time we're going to add our chair pose. So sit the hips down. Set your spine against your imaginary wall. Good. Then inhale to rise, upward salute. Arms come down by your side. Tree pose, other side. Shift your weight to your left. Externally rotate the right foot. Lift the heel or the whole sole of your foot. Find your tree pose leg. And decide where you want your tree pose branches. Gaze drifts off your nose in drishti. Find a spot on the earth. Good. Then turn the knee in. So square the hips. Foot comes away from your leg. And you're just stepping into warrior one. Right leg is back. Left leg in front. Inhale to lift the heel. Exhale. Plant your hands down on the earth. Step into plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale to lower. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, back to down dog. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Maybe you add in 1 or 2 hops. Find your half lift. Exhale to chair. Inhale to rise. Good. Exhale. Come back into your mountain pose. Good. Finding our single leg chair pose. So bring your hands to heart center. Shift your weight onto your right leg. And then you're just going to lift the left heel. Then you're going to exhale, sit the hips back. So you can lift that heel as high as you want. Just to prep for eagle pose, maybe lift the toes off of the mat. If you didn't want to come into eagle pose, you can always come into this position. I personally think this is a little bit harder because there's not enough pressure or weight supporting this right leg. Whereas in eagle pose, you're hugging the limbs together and it gives you a sense of lifting. Good. Hinge at the waist. Lengthen the left leg behind you. And let's pivot into our warrior two. Inhale, reach forward and back, find reverse warrior. And then we're going to exhale, cartwheel our hands down, find our plank pose. Find your flow. Chaturanga to open heart. Finding that hop. So if you haven't hopped yet, maybe lift the heels, bend the knees. Take 1 to 2, and then maybe a step for that final stance to half lift. Exhale to chair. Inhale to rise. Exhale, let the hands come down, mountain pose. Now shift weight to your left foot. Lift the right heel. Hands come to heart center. Exhale, find your single leg squat. Pressing into the sole of your foot. Maybe you lift the right toes off the ground. So remember, you don't really have any support on this left leg. It's just your left leg muscles in that squat pose. So it's going to be a little bit harder than eagle pose. Breathe through it, gaze off your nose. Then hinge at the waist, extend the right leg behind you, find your warrior two. Adjust your stance if you want. Good, inhale, reach forward and back, reverse warrior. Making your way down to the earth, cartwheel your hands down, lift your back heel, step into plank, shift forward, exhale to chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog. Coming back to that down dog. Finding that hop again, so lift the heels, bend the knees, look to the top of your mat. Take any size hop, find half lift, exhale to chair. Inhale to rise. Find mountain pose. Now finding your eagle pose. So bring your feet together. Now if you want to follow along, you can follow along with my cueing. If you feel like you know which side is maybe your dominant side, you can start on that side. Also too, you can find this in different variations. You can find eagle arms and eagle legs at the same time or do one after the other. So we're going to try both. So go ahead and find a nice stable stance with your feet. Sit the hips down. You're going to extend your eagle wings. And you're going to stack left elbow over right. So bend the elbows, find your eagle arms first. Good. Remember your variations. Good, then shift weight onto your left foot. Pick up the right heel and toes. Stack the knees. Squeeze the inner thighs together. And then maybe you can wrap the top of your foot around your calf. If this just feels like a lot of weight, your right toes can set down on the earth. But watch that chest. A lot of times we kind of lean forward, sit the hips and the back upright. Okay. And I'm going to face you just so you can kind of see what that looks like. So here's my modified version. And then here's maybe my intermediate or advanced version. Foot can be in space or wrapped around. Good, carefully unwind. Lengthen your arms to the sky. Catch hold of your left wrist. Lean to the right. Good, come back to center. Good, let's do the same side. This time finding both eagle legs and eagle arms at the same time. So inhale, lengthen your arms into that T position. Lift the right leg. And as you exhale, sit down, you're almost going to fold in to yourself. So left elbow stacks over the right, right knee stacks over the left leg. Hold for about 3 to 5 rounds of breath. Gaze is forward, kind of past your arms. Good, and unwind. Find that counter pose. Catch hold of your left wrist. Lean to the right. Good, come back to mountain pose. Good, shake out your standing leg. And let's head to the other side. So sit your hips down, lengthen your eagle arms. Bend your elbows. This time right elbow stacks over the left. Shift your weight to your right foot. Lift your left leg. And then stack the thighs on top of each other. Good. New pose since we're on a new side. So your pose may look different. For me, this looks a little different with my feet. My foot is just kind of hanging in space. I can't quite bring the top of my foot around my calf. So it's just going to hang out in space as I squeeze the limbs and squeeze everything to my center midline. Nice tall chest. And then we're going to unwind. Reach our arms to the sky. Catch hold of your right wrist. Lift and send it over to the left. Come back to center. Now finding both eagle arms and eagle legs at the same time. Inhale, open up the arms. Shift your weight to your right foot. Lift the left leg. Exhale to squat and bend. Nice tall chest. Kind of remember how this feels for the next time you come into practice. And maybe the next time I don't cue it as much. Good, carefully unwind. Reach for the sky, catch hold of your right wrist, lean to the left. Good, come back to center. Roll the shoulders back and down. Find a nice comfortable stance. Tuck your chin, roll the spine. Finally leaning that weight forward in our forward fold. Good, come back to standing position. Really just driving the feet into the ground, bringing your hands to heart center. Thanking the earth for supporting you today in your balancing poses. With that gratitude in mind, with the earth supporting you, take your bow forward as respect to your yoga. Namaste.